Clifford Cecil Bartholomew was born in 1931. Bartholomew, 40 years old, was married to Heather Alice Bartholomew, 40 years old. Heather had a child from a previous marriage, and the couple went on to have 7 children together. Neville Kenneth, age 19, Christine Heather, age 17, Sharon Ann, age 15, Helen Joy, age 13, Gregory Kim, age 10, Roger Clifford, age 7, and Sandra June, age 4. The couple had another child who died at just a few months old. Bartholomew, his wife Heather and their 7 children lived in a cottage on his employer's land. He had worked on the dairy farm for his employer in Hope Forest, near Wollonga, Australia, for over 11 years. Bartholomew and Heather's marriage was good. However, things changed when the couple allowed a young serviceman to live with them while he recovered from his injuries from the Vietnam War. Bartholomew began suspecting that his wife and the young serviceman were having an affair. When he tried talking to his wife about his suspicions, she told him it was just his imagination, that nothing was going on. She got fed up with his constant accusations and began rejecting him. She also stopped washing his laundry, but would wash the clothes of the rest of the family, as well as the young serviceman's clothes. This caused intense jealousy within Bartholomew. Over time, his children also rejected him. He decided to move out and in with his mother at her farmhouse. Bartholomew made plans to spend time with his children, but his wife changed the day at the last minute. 2 days later, when his wife arrived with the children, he had gifts, drinks for his wife, and candy for his children. He wanted to fix things and reunite his family, but his wife didn't want to reconcile, and his children didn't show much interest in their father. After his wife left with the children, he spent hours lying awake feeling empty. At some point that emptiness turned into a plan to kill his wife. He believed his wife was taking his children away from him, and destroyed their happy family. He felt she was unable to properly care for their children, and to protect his children he would have to kill his wife. His plan was to knock her out, then carry her outside, and shoot her to death. On September 6 in 1971 Heather's sister 26-year-old Winnis and her 18-month-old son Daniel spent the night. Winnis also had her 8-year-old daughter, Nolene, and her stepson, Terry Partridge, age 23, with her visiting, but Terry felt something was off and took his 8-year-old sister with him, and they went home. While Heather, her sister, and all the children were asleep, Bartholomew snuck into the cottage carrying a .22 caliber rifle, and a mallet. He entered the bedroom he previously shared with his wife, and hit her over the head with the mallet. She began screaming, so he shot her in bed. After shooting his wife he left the rifle near the bedroom door. Winnis heard the shots and attempted to make it to her car, but Bartholomew caught up to her and beat her with the mallet. After injuring her, he ran inside and grabbed the rifle, then shot her in the head, killing her. When he walked back into the house, his 17-year-old daughter was standing in the doorway to the bedroom. She begged her father not to shoot her. He beat her with the mallet, then shot her. One by one, he hit each of his children over the head with the mallet, then shot them. Bartholomew then sat down and drank a beer. He suddenly remembered his 18-month-old nephew, Daniel, was still alive, so he reloaded his gun and shot the child at point-blank range while he lay sleeping. After making sure everyone was dead, he went into his wife's kitchen and brewed a pot of coffee, and took some aspirin. He then covered each body with a blanket, and called the local doctor and admitted to killing his family. When police arrived at the home, they found Bartholomew sitting at the kitchen table with an empty bottle of Bacardi beside him. Bartholomew was arrested immediately after the murders. During the police interview he said he just wanted to kill his wife, but said he realized that he loved his children too much to leave them behind, so he had to kill them too. He said he killed his wife's sister because she was partly to blame for his marital problems. One of the officers who arrived described the scene at the farmhouse as an unimaginable horror. Bartholomew appeared before the Adelaide Magistrates' Court on October 3 in 1971, where he was ordered to be tried in Supreme Court. He pled not guilty. His defense argued that the killings were out of character for Bartholomew, arguing that he was legally insane at the time of the murders due to emotional disturbance and depression. At the trial, his story changed. He said that when he only wanted to kill his wife, that he wanted to knock her out then carry her to the shed to kill her, but she started screaming and woke everyone up. So he lost control, and killed everything that moved until the house was quiet again. On November 23 in 1971, Bartholomew was found guilty and sentenced to hang by Justice Roma Mitchell. However, his sentence was later commuted to life in prison by the Dunstan government. Don Dunstan was Premier of South Australia between 1967 and 1968, then served again from 1970 until 1979. Dunstan became well known for his campaign against the death penalty. He even opposed the death of well-known killer Max Stewart, who was convicted of the rape and murder of a young girl. Bartholomew would only spend 7.5 years in Yatala Labour Prison. The South Australian Parole Board, led by Dame Roma Mitchell, decided to release him on December 10 in 1979. The decision to release him was controversial, and highly criticised. The Australian Government Workers' Association said it was reprehensible. Clifford Bartholomew changed his name to Clifford Palmer, taking on a whole new identity. In 1983 he married Merlin Juliet Palmer. Merlin was a devout Christian, and had 7 children of her own from a previous marriage. Bartholomew adopted the 7 children and raised them as his own. In 2002 Bartholomew passed away at age 72. The family didn't find out about Bartholomew's past until Merlin passed away in 2012, when they were cleaning out the contents of the family home in Victoria. They stumbled across his old criminal papers. One of Bartholomew's stepchildren, Ralph Gray, said, "I couldn't believe it, none of us can. To know the full story is horrendous. He just isn't the man we thought we knew. He never disrespected our mother, and they hardly had a raised voice in more than 20 years together. He was a gentleman. He loved us and we all loved him." Little 8-year-old Nolene was interviewed years later. Now 52 years old, said she felt hatred for her uncle. She felt outrage that her uncle served less than 8 years for his crimes. She said she's lived in fear until his death, thinking he would come after her to finish his crime. She said she's glad he's dead, and she hopes he died a horrible death. She said she had a lot of questions she would have liked to have asked him face to face. She said she was in shock that he remarried. Nolene was adopted after her mother was murdered. She said, "I was never allowed to talk about this as a child, and my adoptive mother even told me he was looking to kill me too. And people wonder why I've had mental issues most of my life. I can't believe he was ever let out. My heart bleeds for these people who lose people to murder, but every time a murderer gets a sentence of 20 to 30 years, and you know they'll serve it, it's a slap in my face." She went on to say, "He got out in 7 years for killing 10 people, including 8 kids. He stole their lives away, he stole my too. I was effectively left an orphan." She went on to say she still has nightmares about the murders. In 2019 a team of researchers performed comprehensive research on family annihilators. The team reviewed 63 cases, in over 18 countries. In nearly all cases the murders were carried out by a male, and in approximately 50% of the cases, the killer committed suicide right after the murders. The research discovered 2 different types of familicide. First is the despondent type. The despondent type of killer feels desperate, and usually commits suicide after. He sees his family as an extension to his own suicide. The offender feels his family has no hope if he's gone, so he believes taking his family with him is an act of mercy and love. Second is the hostile type. The offender is jealous and motivated to kill out of revenge or jealousy. The offender's primary target is usually the spouse, but usually ends in murdering the entire family in a jealous rage. He believes he has the right to decide to end his family. The research concluded that both types have a sense of ownership over the family, but different motives for the killings. The Bartholomew killings are the worst case of mass family killings in Australia. Clifford Bartholomew, aka Clifford Palmer, thought his wife was having an affair, which caused serious issues within their marriage, leading to him leaving the family home. When he wanted to reconcile and his wife refused, he murdered his entire family, as well as his wife's sister and her young son. After killing the people, Bartholomew served less than 10 years behind bars, then was released. He was able to go on and live a long life with a whole new family. This is outrageous. Even if his wife was having an affair, it did not give him the right to kill her, and he sure didn't have the right to murder innocent children. He was a selfish monster who deserved far more than he got. They should have locked him up and threw away the key, or carried out the first sentence, which was to hang him. He did not deserve a second chance with a second family. What if something didn't go his way, or things with this wife started deteriorating? Would he have wiped out this family too? Most people deserve a second chance. However, murdering innocent children deliberately should never be given such chances. We are playing Russian roulette with the lives of more children. This is unfathomable. May his victims rest in peace. That concludes this episode. Keep your eye out for the next volume, coming soon. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.
Want to help support the channel you love, and get something in return? Simply purchase some Elizabeth's Chronicles merch. We have coffee mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, cozy blankets, beach towels, phone covers and more. Use the coupon code EC10OFF4U, and get 10% off your order. The link to order is in the description area below this video. Thanks for helping Elizabeth's Chronicles continue to make the videos you love.